What's up, everyone?
Hello, hello.
Another Red Couch Conversations.
That's it. We're back. I hope everyone is having great holidays. We are in the middle of the holidays. If you're watching this live, and if not, well, happy
Merry Christmas, you
2019
filthy animals.
coming up. Great. So today, we're going to talk about why fit doesn't always equal healthy.
Yes.
And I guess that's a great topic that we like to talk about, especially with brand new people and people that are not familiar with our work. Because I guess it always comes down to what people think they know and the beliefs out there and what the society is portraying when it comes to health and fitness. And we want to kind of demystify some of that stuff a little bit because it's not helping people. And we see it every single day in our practice. And it's like, the same concept as when people think the scale is everything. And we talked about that in the past, why the scale is not necessarily the best way to assess progress. So today we want to talk about why being fit or looking fit physically doesn't always necessarily equal being healthy. Just because we've had a lot of people saying to us, things like, oh, my boyfriend is super skinny, he has abs, and he can eat anything he wants.
Yeah.
And he's healthy, right? So he eats junk food, but he's healthy.
Yeah.
Morning, Jen. Woo! It's early. So, so that's a good example. There's also other examples, like very typical examples are athletes. We see, football players, like, basketball players, whatever, any kind of sports. People are very, very, very fit. They're very conditioned. They have very strong bodies. They look fit. And people will automatically think, I think a lot of people automatically think that these people aren't necessarily super healthy because they look fit. And then you have also the people that work out in the gym, right? Bodybuilders, people that do shows and competition, but not necessarily, like just regular people that go to the gym and look fit, they have fit bodies. So either way, we want to talk about this conversation. We want to have this conversation this morning just because there is a big difference between healthy and fit. It's not necessarily, one doesn't always equal the other, but you can also be fit and healthy, which is the great news.
Yes.
So, awesome. So let's talk about, what we mean by healthy in the first place. So maybe this is going to shed a bit of light about why being fit doesn't always equal being healthy. Because maybe you're in that position right now. Maybe your body's super fit, but you don't feel great, right? So, because we see that a whole lot with people. People that are going to the gym, they work out a lot. And a lot of times these people overwork, they overtrain. Not necessarily, but a lot of times it happens that they overtrain. Their body's already in an overstressed position, right? They're already they either undereat or they're on a diet, or even if they eat pretty well or enough food, maybe they don't eat the right type of optimal food.
Yeah, I would say even if they're not overtraining, overtraining will come a lot sooner and quicker for them just because they're undernourished and under recovering. So.
Yeah, or they're eating the right amount of food for their body's needs, but it's just not the right types of food, and it creates digestive distress, or they're not sleeping enough. That's very typical, like people that are not recovering enough, not enough recovery, not enough rest. That's very typical with athletes and people that train a lot. And then there's a big difference. We'll get to that. So basically the point we're trying to make, so let's talk about what healthy means. What healthy means to you, Greg?
Feeling good and looking good.
I love it.
and the
So
basic, simplistic terms right there. Feeling good and looking good.
Yeah. So there's a couple indicators that you can see if, because sometimes people don't have a really good perspective on what feeling good means, because if you've been in your body your whole life and you don't know what it feels like, for example, if you've always been overstressed, you don't necessarily know you're stressed because that's your reality, right? That's kind of like your baseline.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a lot. A lot of people say, I don't feel stressed, but their bodies are constantly under stress, and because they're so used to it, they don't even know they're dealing with stress. And stress is not just feeling stress from a mental level. A lot of times it's just digestive stress, lack of sleep, being tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, all that stuff. So so signs that you are healthy are, well, first of all, you're happy and content. So that's the number one thing, right? Like you said, you feel good. You feel good, you're happy, you're content. And that goes into more like emotional health and mental health and spiritual health. You know, do you have purpose? Are you, you know, do you feel excited when you get up in the morning, like to tackle the day? Like, you know, how's your mental health and all of that? So that's kind of part of the whole health picture. Having goals, you know, feeling accomplished, or at least having a direction. You know, you might not be where you want to be because we're always striving towards something. Well, hopefully you are, but at least you have direction, right? You have a goal, you have something you're working on, and you're excited about it. So that's the whole more like psychological part of health that we also talk a little bit here in our work. But the physical part of your health is, you know, how is your sleep, right? Do you have really good sleep? Do you sleep through the night? Do you feel rested when you wake up in the morning?
Do you have trouble falling asleep?
Yeah. So do you have any kind of sleep issues, right? Sometimes people say, oh, I sleep 8 hours every night. Great. Do you feel rested when you wake up? No, not at all. So it's not just the amount of sleep you're getting, right? It's like, how is your sleep? Do you actually feel rested? Do you have energy throughout the day? These are very basic things, right? But if you're dealing with energy ups and downs, or you're dragging your feet all day, or
you're using stimulants, or you know,
you have to have coffee or like energy drinks, or like, so you can't get through the day, right? Things like that. So you need to have like external help to get you going, is also a sign that your energy levels are not so great, which which is part of your health. How's your digestion? That's a big one, because there's so many things we don't talk about, right? So
poop.
Are you going to the bathroom?
Are you pooing?
A normal, healthy digestive system should have
once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah, that's normal.
Don't listen. Well, for a lot of people, unfortunately,
that is normal, yeah.
1 or 2 times a week is their normal, and they think that just because they've always been this way, it's normal, right?
Well, you don't get taught in school, really.
Unfortunately.
How often you should be going poo.
Exactly. So what's a normal bowel movement schedule?
About 5 times a day.
Oh, come on.
You want to be good friends with the bathroom attendant where you work.
So 1 to 3 a day is a very normal, like more healthier metabolism, digestive issues
but
schedule.
Yeah, not just like, liquid.
Right.
Yeah.
The texture and all of this can make a difference. Of how is it? So,
or as soon as you eat something, you end up going right to the bathroom. Like, that's not something.
Well, if you're dealing with diarrhea or constipation, or even like pain, or if bloating, if you have any form of acid reflux or digestive distress, or this is just part of your health, right? These are all symptoms that something is not working well. It's in most of the time it's nutrition, but the stress can also be something that could triggers or interfere with the digestive process as well. So if you're having a very high stressful life and things like that, which in return, if you fix your nutrition and you get more pro-metabolic foods and more easy digestible foods in your system, it will ease the overall stress in your body, even if you can't control external stress factors.
Yes, because not eating enough or the right type of foods are a stressor to your body.
Yeah. So other indicators are like your hair, your skin, your nails. If you're having issues with hair loss, or thin hair, or hair that breaks, or skin that's, you have any kind of skin issues, rash.
Nails.
Nails are very weak.
They crack easily.
Yeah, things like that. These are all signs, like symptoms that your system is undernourished or overstressed, or, that lacks nutrients or minerals and things like that. What else can be an indicator of lack of health? Let's talk about hormones. And this is very, very, very common, and a lot of people don't talk about this. For the ladies, if you're dealing with any kind of PMS, and when I say PMS, I ask sometimes ladies, like, do you have any PMS? No, I don't. How's your mood? Oh yeah, no, my mood is terrible. Well, that's PMS, right? If you're dealing with any kind of mood swings, energy, shifts,
really
if you're
painful periods,
a lot of, if you don't have any periods altogether, or very heavy period, anything that is actually changing the way you feel is a form of PMS. And so we're talking about hormones imbalances and things like that. For men, in men and women altogether. Also, we talk about sex drive. How's your sex drive? Is it normal? Is it healthy? Or you have no libido, like, ever?
Yeah, no sex drive since the Reagan administration.
Now, of course, there's other factors that can interfere with your sex drive, you know, your relationships and all of that stuff.
Of your partner.
The context, yeah. Having a partner or not. But if you have a partner that you love and you're attracted to, and you know everything else is normal, and
you
you
should
don't
want to bang them every day.
So, but it could be actually a sign of, you know, it's a low
testosterone,
lower metabolism, basically, or hormone imbalances that you're dealing with, low sex drive. And we can talk about this here because I think we live in a society where people are very ashamed to talk about these things, and these are super important because these are actual problems that people are dealing with on a daily basis, and people don't talk about it. So if you're hearing this today and it really hit homes for you, you're not alone. I want to say that. Don't feel bad. It's totally normal, and it's very easy to fix. So come talk to us. I mean, unless it's, you know, it's most of the time it's a very simple fix. With nutrition and stress management, we could do a whole lot of work around that. Not to say we can fix everything, but disclaimer. All right, so that's another example. What else? You know, you sleep well, you function well, you have good energy, you have good digestive system.
Body temp.
Your body temp. Okay, so like a normal body temperature at rest. You know, when you wake up in the morning, before you get out of bed, should be between 97.8 to 98.6 Fahrenheit. So you could take your body temperature orally in bed before you get out of bed and see what your body temp looks like, and then your pulse. Let's talk about the pulse too. So a healthy pulse at rest should lay between 75 to 85, up to 90 maybe.
What? I heard Lance Armstrong was like 40.
Yeah.
40 below.
Oh my gosh. This one is a really, really, this one really resonated with me when I first learned that. Because I always had a lower pulse. My pulse was always in the low 60. I was like, oh yes,
yeah, whenever you're
I'm
like,
super fit.
I remember in college, a lot of people in gym class were like, had to take their pulse, and that was like, you know, 50, like low 50s, and that was like a
you
great,
get a badge of honor
thing,
yeah.
So low. Yeah.
So just to clarify, guys, you know, we've heard that before, and even when you go to the doctors or the nurse takes your, you know, your basic, you know, heart rate and blood pressure and all that stuff, and a lot of times when it's low, people will say, hey, that's great, you have a low heart rate. Well, to some extent, we don't want you to have a high heart rate, obviously, because it's not good. But too low is not good either. That means you're hypometabolic. Your body is under functioning. So endurance athletes, we see that a whole lot. So people that push their body a lot for long durations, or
athletes, fighters.
Yeah, people that are constantly pushing their bodies, right?
It's your body's way of adapting to what you're putting it under. So it has to adapt. Yeah,
exactly. So because there's not enough, because of the amount of energy you ask out of your body, and there's probably not enough like rest, because you'd have to sleep probably 12 hours a night, and then sleep like maybe eat 3,000 to 5,000 calories a day or whatever to compensate for the demand on the body. Then, you know, the body just has to adapt and slow down, because otherwise it can't keep up with the demand, right? So and that's why a lot of people that are doing a lot of exercise, or sportsmen and people that are very fit and active, tend to have a lower pulse. It's just an adaptive response. So your metabolism is slowing down to help you keep surviving, because really all your body cares about, and your brain, is to survive, right? That's the primal job of your body, is to help you survive. So so your heart rate, right, should be between 75 and 85 up to 90 at rest, and you could take your body temperature and pulse in the morning before you get out of bed, and you could see where you stand from a metabolic perspective. Now, so when we assess people that are super fit, sometimes when we talk about these things, a lot of times these people will be like, oh yeah, my pulse is low 60, or like, you know, or in the 50s, and well, so you have abs, you're built, or whatever, you're skinny, you're a runner, or whatever that. So that doesn't equal health, because right now this is an objective measure of metabolism, and there's nothing, you know, that's it. It's just part of.
Yeah, and like we said before, you can be, you know, in shape, look good, but also, you know, feel good, have the measures of that we're talking about. There's ways, you know, with your nutrition and your sleep and your training.
Yeah, so like in a nutshell, like maybe this is you, maybe it's someone you know, maybe you've heard that before. Like sometimes you can look amazing but not feel really great inside. So if you're dealing with, any kind of those issues, symptoms, any symptoms is really a sign that there's something that's not working well with your metabolism. Sleep, skin, digestion, all of that, sex drive, like everything we just talked about. There's more than that, but then there's something that's not necessarily working. So it doesn't mean you can't stay fit and improve your health, so that's the good news. But we just wanted to clarify this because I think it makes a lot of people feel really bad.
What?
Well, people think that, people that look super fit are necessarily healthy, and they want to achieve that look, in order to become healthier, which I get. Like, we want everyone to look great and be super healthy, but we just almost, like, the point we're trying to make here is that getting to those body goals, physical body goals, like getting abs or, looking a certain way, is not necessarily going to get you healthier. So what we're trying to stress here is that there is a way to do it in a very healthy way that you can achieve your body goals without jeopardizing your health and your metabolism. That's where we're going with this.
Yes.
Great.
Basically.
So how do we do that?
Where do you want to start?
Man. Well, let's keep it simple. Basically, what's very important to know, and this is what we've talked about in a lot of other conversations, is that having a consistent, regular training schedule is going to help you with building your body in the gym, right? So whether, it depends what your goal is, but for the most part here, we help people changing their body comp and increasingly muscle mass, so they can look more toned, more fit, and then, change the way their body looks, which is great. But if you're going to ask this kind of, if you're going to put that much stress on your body and ask your body to change and force it to change its composition, you also have to nourish and fuel your body properly.
Yes. And
recover and get good sleep. And, you're going to have to balance. It's a balancing act.
Yeah, you basically have to put not just gasoline in your car, but the oil. You have to check the windshield fluid, the tire pressure. So...
Check engine.
Yeah, check engine. You don't want that light coming on.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about so when it comes to nutrition, we've talked about this in other videos, like food frequency is super important. So eating frequently throughout the day, making sure you're always getting all your 3 macronutrients. So
macros are marshmallows,
chocolate, and coffee.
Chocolate and coffee.
Proteins, fats, and carbs at each meal or each snack whenever. There's a few exceptions, but in general. So pre-post workouts could be different. For the most part, you're getting nutrient-dense, rich foods, what we call pro-metabolic foods. If you want to hear more about this, you can contact us. But really, in a nutshell, it's like roots and fruits, right? When it comes to your carbohydrates, these are your best sources.
We call those fruits.
Fruits
and fruits.
I love it.
Fruits.
And then healthy lean protein. I think for the protein, for fish, seafood, eggs, dairy, grass-fed meat, bone broth and gelatin, these are excellent protein. Really, when it comes to protein, it's more or less the quality of it. You really want to make sure it's good quality, because pasture-raised eggs are not the same as commercial
cage-free eggs.
Yeah. So it's not the same. And then fat, we recommend saturated fats like coconut oil and grass-fed butter, ghee, that kind of stuff. So these are just basic. But
well, I saw a funny picture on the internet about fat, and it was just funny.
Oh.
There was an avocado looking in the mirror, and it's like, I'm fat, but I'm the good fat.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I like it.
Funny.
Right. Well, avocado is a different conversation.
No, just because it was round, it was fat, like in appearance. But I'm good fat.
I'm healthy fat. That's a good joke. He always has to. I like that you found another joke.
That wasn't a joke.
Oh. Well, I thought it was funny. So, all right, guys. So, pro-metabolic foods, regulating blood sugar, of course, is number one. All of this is going to allow your body not to be under stress in the first place.
Eat breakfast.
Start your day with breakfast.
30 to 60 minutes.
Yes, good. Get a good 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Sometimes you might need more. Sometimes,
at the right times at the night. not like, you know,
from
going
2
to
a.m.
bed at 2 to 9.
It's not the same. It's absolutely not the same. Of course, you know, getting enough vitamin D, having fun, moving, proper breathing, stress reduction. Sometimes you have to like fix some external things, you know, like changing the way you live, you know, the people around you, your surroundings, your relationships, your job. nice. Things like that in order to make your life a little bit less stressful and
your
balance
emotional
things.
health, your thoughts, your feelings.
Because these influence tremendously how you digest food, how you sleep through the night.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows, like, you know, if you're having a stressful event or you're anticipation of something stressful, you don't really sleep as well through the night. So stress, mental stress, thoughts can be a huge trigger for increased stress in your system. So this is why it's really important, because when it comes to your nutrition, your movement training, and your sleep and your those kinds of habits, you have a way better control over those things than some of the things you can't control, like external stress, like, or what people are going to say to you and what's going to happen on the outside. You don't have as much control as what you put in your mouth, how you nourish your body, how you train. So and this is why we work with that, because we tell people, hey, here's what you can control, and here's how we can make the most out of it to reduce your overall stress and help your body be as healthy as possible.
The more nourished you are, and not just like nutritionally, but emotionally and physically, the more you'll be able to handle, and not like from the stuff you can't handle. You're more apt to like to just like let it brush off.
I mean, everyone knows, like, if you're already undernourished, let's say you didn't eat all day, you have a high stressful day, and you're just like running from meeting to meeting, you have so many deadlines, so you're stressed out, you didn't eat, you're starving yourself, blood sugar is dysregulated and all that stuff, you're super cranky. So it takes nothing for you to snap at someone or be like affected or triggered by something. Everybody's like probably felt that at least once in their life.
You get depressed, you're just
kids are a great example.
down on life, and just you take it out on everyone.
Yeah, it's easier like to cry or get
someone
depressed.
Compliments you and you freak the fuck out. You're like, what do you mean? I look good.
Okay, so that's a great example then. So that's why we stress the fact that, hey, if you can get really good nutrition, make sure you're nourished, you regulate your blood sugar, you sleep through the night, get good movement, that makes you feel good mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that.
In a nutshell.
What? Then at least you create a strong foundation to deal with external or to cope with external stress. You're reducing the overall stress in the bucket. So then you have much more.
When you take care of your own shit, you're not worried about flies buzzing around you. You're not annoyed by them.
Sure. So that's Greg's version. I love it. So all right, guys. I hope this makes sense. What we were trying to really explain this morning is, fit doesn't always equal healthy. Now, you can be super fit and super healthy as long as you take care of the basics, you nourish yourself, you sleep enough, and then great markers to figure out if you are healthy or not, or all the things that we talked about. So do a little bit of a checklist, check out how your digestive system is, how you feel, all these things. How's your body temperature and pulse. These are more objective measures. And there's other things like, if you constantly are cold or constantly are hot, things like this, like body temperature, are signs that you can...
I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because that's easy for people to relate to or understand. You're really cold, like when you like if someone touches you, do you feel their hands?
Cold
like
hands and feet.
Freezing, yeah. You're constantly shivering, or it's like 60 degrees outside, but you're wearing like, long sleeve shirt and then like a coat, and then, like you're always cold. Or you're in the workplace and there's other people around you wearing like regular clothes, but you're there like shivering and you have to like put a jacket on. These are signs that,
low body temperature.
Yeah. That's, something needs to be adjusted or worked on.
Or if you're always hot or having,
like a bad hot.
Like
bad
bad
hot. You're
hot.
not warm, but like you're like,
Adrenaline
like
response.
sweating, and like when you're not working out,
Yeah, you should feel like good and comfortable, and you should be able to dress normal according to the temperature around you. So all these things are just signs and symptoms that there's something inside that. And sometimes I'm very in tune with my body. So when I feel tired and I'm getting hungry, I'm getting like colder. Like I can sense my body temperature dropping. So for me, it's very easy to see, like, you start shivering. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that. So that's a sign that, whoops, it's time to, get some food and get to bed or things like that. So it's a really good way to also kind of assess how you're feeling throughout the day. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to know more about how to get fit and healthy,
click
together.
the link below. I don't know. There's no link.
Just message us, contact us. We'll be more than happy to help you out. If you want to, if this is the first time for you, like, listening to this kind of information, you want to know more about this, we highly recommend this book from Kate Deering, How to Heal Your Metabolism. It has lots of gold nuggets in it. But it really breaks down the basics, the foundation of metabolism, how it works, and, especially the nutrition part, because it's really how you...
I actually hear that they're replacing the Bible with it.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's going to be the new Bible.
Great.
2000 edition.
So, with that being said, we hope this was helpful, and leave us some comments, share with your friends, let us know what you need. If there's any topics you'd like for us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, you probably won't, but let us know anyway.
Yes, they will.
No, they won't.
We're enjoying the red couch conversation. So, yeah, and if you're dealing with this, or if you know someone, share the video, or, let us know. Like, comment. We want to hear from you guys.
Do you want to see more of us in the gym like we wore last episode? Or do you want more, like, nutrition and health topics?
Mindset.
Yeah, mindset, libido.
Let us know what you guys
Pooping.
need, what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
What you want
How to
Greg.
get bigger biceps like Melissa.
If you want more jokes from Greg. Or
Yeah,
less.
yeah.
All right.
As
guys.
always, we're Rise Conscious Fitness, and stay delicious.
Talk to you soon, guys.